In the workshop, how to make the exhaust piping in a miniature steam plant. For the steam inlet piping, I would normally use copper pipe bent to shape with a small pipe bender, but for the exhaust, it needs a different approach. I'm using these excellent PM Research cast elbows because they really look the part and they're very easy to use. I buy these from Forest Classics, a company in the UK. I suppose I could buy these from PM Research direct, but owing to the time it would take to get them from the USA, and not forgetting the import duty that I would have to pay on the parts, it's more convenient to buy them in England from Forest Classics. The only problem is I'm still having to rethread every one of them 1/4x40, so either the pitch is wrong or these are tapered threads that have been supplied by Forest Classics. I have mentioned it in the past to fill at Forest Classics, but they still come out like that. It's not the end of the world, I just rethread them using a 1/4x40 tap. And for the threading process, I hold the elbows in my excellent Barco spanner. It's fairly self-explanatory what I'm doing. I'm threading pieces of copper tubing. The tubing is 1/4 inch in diameter, and I thread it in the lathe using a 3/16 of an inch diameter drill down the middle of the pipe, which not only allows me to hold the copper securely in the chuck, it helps to make the thread more accurate and even. And if you want to put this theory to the test, try threading a piece of 1/4 inch copper pipe without putting a drill shank down the centre. If you're lucky, at best the thread will be uneven, and the worst case scenario is just the end of the pipe mangling up in the chuck. I've just threaded another elbow, and the next piece of copper exhaust pipe to go in place is a long one, and this needs bending around the boiler. But whatever you do, do not bend the pipe before you've threaded both ends of it. I'll show the process up close. The long piece of pipe goes into the chuck. Then I tighten the chuck jaws just to hold the piece of copper tubing in place. And it's at this point that I introduce the shank of a twist drill down the centre of it. And now the twist drill's firmly in place, I can tighten the chuck jaws a bit more. To help prevent the copper from tearing, I'm applying some oil. And if you watch carefully what I'm doing, I'm threading the pipe using hand power only, and occasionally I turn the die holder in the opposite direction. This is just to clear the chips. You need to have a firm but delicate touch with this. If you put too much pressure on the copper, then it will distort and it may even spin round in the chuck. This is an important health and safety warning. Once you've threaded the copper pipe, do not withdraw the twist drill like this. Pulling the twist drill out of the copper tube using your fingers on the sharp part of the twist drill is just asking for trouble. It's best to pull the twist drill out using a pair of pliers, and by doing that you're less likely to cut your fingers. I'm applying Loctite 542 to every one of the threaded junctions. This is a belt and braces approach really, because the exhaust steam isn't under a great deal of pressure, but the last thing you want it to do is leak. I can only turn the copper tube by hand so far, so I can't thread it all the way into the elbow. Once I've applied some Loctite 542, I can put the elbow on the other end, then I use my Barco spanner to tighten the whole assembly together. And the idea is to tighten the elbow onto the copper pipe so you can't see any trace of the thread. In this clip I'm cleaning off the Loctite 542 residue from the pipe. Loctite 542 is a very good hydraulic seal, and it's also pretty good at removing paint, so if you get it on your fingers and then handle paint work, you'll be surprised how quickly the paint starts to fall off. If my calculations are correct, when I bend this pipe to match the curvature of the boiler, the vertical pipe should be in line with the exhaust inlet at the top of the boiler. This copper pipe was quite hard to bend. The next time I go into Blackgates Engineering, I think I will ask my friend Matt not to wind the 1/4 inch pipe into such a tight coil. This is the upright piece of pipe. I've threaded one end of it, and now I need to see where I need to thread it at the other end. This is where a bit of experience and the calibrated eye comes in useful. As always, I've applied some Loctite 542 to the bottom part of the pipe, and I'm doing exactly the same at the other end of the piece of pipe. When I've finished tightening the elbow onto the pipe at this end, it should be precisely in line with the fitting on the boiler. At the moment it looks like it's a bit low, but it isn't. It's just the pressure of the barcode spanner slightly bending the lower horizontal pipe. As you can see, this is pretty much in line with the fitting. I found a piece of 1/4-inch copper pipe in my scrap box which was already soldered to a union. So I marked it with the scriber, removed it, cut it off on the bandsaw, then I threaded the end of the short piece of copper pipe in exactly the same way as the rest, and all I have to do now is tighten up the union nut. The job is done, and it's quite simple to do, and it makes the engine's exhaust sound better. Also, the exhaust of the pump going up the chimney will help to draw the fire. For a boiler of this size and steaming capability, I want it to be able to provide steam for large as well as small steam engines, and for a large steam engine to exhaust into a 1/4-inch pipe would strangle it a bit. So that is not going to be piped up the chimney. In this clip I'm just giving the engine a quick test run using compressed air. And as you can see, it really does fill this boiler very quickly. When I take this boiler plant outside and light a coal fire inside it, I'll be really interested to see what a difference this amount of water being pumped into the boiler does to the pressure. And even though it's only February in the north of England, the weather's quite good. So I think I'll do this steam test very soon. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful.